Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us for our final taping ahead of Against All Odds as we seek to most of our pay-per-view cards sorted. There's a few I'm still kind of iffy on just in case someone pops up or someone gets an injury, so I want to explore the best possible options on the day of the event. There's still a lot happening on this show, so let's crack right on to this week's Impact Wrestling and Access TV. So again, this week we have 720 fans selling out the Orpheum, so that's always a good sign that the company is continuing to grow with attendances as the industry and the economy continues to grow, so that's always a benefit. We start off with a solid 60 opening promo, with just the VC3 alongside Ace Austin and his henchman, you could say, his lackey, his monster, Madman Fulton. And they're just basically frustrated the fact they cannot get one up on Jeff Hardy and Matt Cardona, but they say they'll have a numbers game and it's time that Hardy and Cardona don't even make it to Against All Odds. This sees Eddie Edwards comes out alongside Jeff and Matt and he says, I've been sick and tired of what you guys have been saying. I feel like, yous are there to shut up and I want to make a name for myself and get myself in contention to be world champion. So I'm going to team up with these two guys tonight. I've been told by Mr. Matchmaker Kurt Angle we will see a main event of a 6-man tag. EC3 Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus Jeff Hardy, Matt Cardona, Eddie Edwards. Basic, but it was a good opportunity to get Eddie Edwards into the main event scene. 60 rating. Started out with some knockouts action and the returning Crazy Mary Dobson taking on Tasha Steelz. It was a poor matchup that saw Crazy Mary Dobson pick up the win and 7.56 with a split-legged moonsault. A 36 here, Tasha Steelz off her game as we continue to build up. Slowly but surely, Crazy Mary Dobson. Moving on, we've got a promo from the acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. They just cut a lot of small person jokes because it's Hornswoggle that's going to be an action or Swoggle. He will be leaving soon, his contract's expiring and I don't really have much for him, so he's going to be taking a few defeats. So 38. Caster against Swoggle. Caster defeats the other New Yorker. I think he's from New York. Well, he's friends with, obviously, Cardona and Myers, etc. That's the creator poll link between the two. But Caster picks up the win anyway in 7.06. And this was a 31 rating. But just give them some more momentum. Swoggle takes the defeat on the way out the door. We then had some tag team action. It was about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Their champions, FTR, defeated the Varsity Blondes in 12.28 when Dax Harwood pinned Griff Garrison with a leg hook Satio suplex. Griff Garrison, the weak link here, obviously FTR are on a completely different planet in terms of experience, and a 58 as the outcome for their match. They basically say it's amazing that they've gotten to just before the pay-per-view. No one stepped out and made themselves contenders. They might have a match-up at Against All Odds, but they don't feel that anyone's even on the level to give them the competition they need. 59 promo. Move on, and we had about that had good heat, decent wrestling. Jordan Grace gets the shock victory over Fia Trinidad and 7.52 by roll-up. This was a 50. The reason I say shock victory, Fia's overness is obviously far greater than Jordan's, and I didn't expect her to put her over clean, but she was happy to, so I thought that makes sense, go with it. And Jordan Grace should get a good bit of a pop boost before her matchup at Against All Odds. And after this, we have a bit of a heated confrontation between Jordan and Taya. 39. I don't get though why it says that Taya Valkyrie and Fia Trinidad are a very poor combination. Don't click at all. That'll be the first time she's actually been as her manager. Come to think about it, most of it's the two of them been having promos together, so that's a little bit annoying. That combination doesn't work, so maybe have them as tag partners rather than manager and client. Then had Odio Tai on the screen, and they're going to be coming to Impact Wrestling. So the team of B. Priestley and Jamie Hayter, both of them debuting cocky gimmicks here with a 37 rating. Have some words for Rosemary and Sue Young. They say they'll be appearing at Impact Wrestling very soon to be the Premier Knockouts tag team. And one day, I don't think they're going to make it the pay-per-view, but one day they are going to face Rosemary and Sue Young and take those Knockouts tag titles. These are two I feel like I really want to give a push to because in so many other saves they've been putting people over, and it's not exactly fair. Moving along, we had a decent matchup that saw the North defeat the Deaners in 7:47 when Ethan Page pinned Cody Deaner with the spinning facebuster at 51. Simple, effective, and another win for the North to gain some momentum. But they agreed to a promo from Enzo and Kaz, only a 46 though, which is a bit disappointing. But they just say they're going to get some revenge on the North, and they're going to give them a beating of their lives. And then after that, they're going to get back into contention for the Impact Tag Team Championships. Kurt Angle then confirms we will see for the X Division Championship at Against All Odds, and we will see the X Division Champion Ricky Starks put that title on the line in a fatal 4-way matchup that will include Suicide and former Motor City Machine Gun teammates, now rivals, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. And that gathered a 42. And speaking of which, we had good heat and decent wrestling, and Chris Sabin picked up a win over TJP in 11:52 with the Cradle Shock. So a 49 there, both kind of level in performances, although TJP was off his game, but it gives Chris a little bit of momentum heading in to the pay-per-view. So intrigued to see how that fatal 4-way goes down. Then have Chris Sabin just cutting a few words before this fatal 4-way. He says he's doing his best to become X Division Champion once again. This was meant to be the relaunch, the rebirth of Chris Sabin, and he's going to be pretty pissed off if it's Alex Shelley that ruins all of this. So he says he hopes Shelley doesn't get his way, or he will do bad things to Alex Shelley. The main event was superb. Matt Cardona, Jeff Hardy and Eddie Edwards defeat Ace Austin, Madman Fulton and EC3 in 14:29. Jeff Hardy pinning Madman Fulton with a twist of fate. Disappointingly, Cardona and EC3 were off their game. Eddie Edwards is a gimmick that's getting stale, but the 63 will hold up pretty well. And in terms of in-ring performances, Jeff is head and shoulders above the rest. Ace Austin very respectable as well with the 66. And we finished the show with 59, increasing their pop in 34 regions. So I'll just run through things that are definitely going to be happening. Obviously the matches to be added to this. Matt Cardona, Ace Austin for the Impact World Championship. Jeff Hardy versus EC3 will happen again. Fatal 4-way matchup, Suicide, Ricky Starks, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley for the X Division Championship. We'll have Enzo and Kaz taking on the North. We'll have Jordan Grace challenging Taya Valkyrie for the Knockouts Championship. We'll have Luchasaurus versus Moose. And we will have a couple more matches on top of that. So a pretty stacked card. There's plenty of other people I want to try and get involved. We'll see if we can maybe wangle in the Good Brothers. We'll see if we can get a few others. I just want to make sure we get the best possible opponents for FTR that makes a little bit of sense. So it's a 2-week break between the last taping and the show. Well, 10 days really. So I'm hoping we can have somebody decent pop up. It's always a case someone might leave WWE, someone just might become available. It's one of the things you need to look at. Unfortunately, we don't have the money to do written contracts just yet. And Mosh is retired, so there goes the deal of the headbangers coming in. That wasn't going to happen anyway. And you can see that Melissa Santos and Brian Cage have split. But as for our show, Impact Wrestling, show was awesome. They're delighted with that. Size, we're still needing to get a good show. I think we're actually mostly growing globally rather than domestically. That seems to be all the same. So I think we probably do need to get some better shows. But we do make the kind of pop gain in the US when it is a pay-per-view rather than a normal show. And Bushy extended his contract, so that's good to see. Still an extension to the handshake deal and a 0.19. So that's good. Hopefully we can push on that. That's a bit of a worry. Quite a lot of money lost there. But you can see there the production costs are way up, which we expected, given the nature that they've increased everything. So it really does depend how this goes at the end of the month. Obviously we'll still get like sort of pay-per-view revenue to come in, or ticket sales for that, and then two shows to be broadcasted, and of course our sponsorship at the end of the month. But I do feel we are going to be in a position where I might need to to trim back the production levels just to make sure we, the company does survive. The risk reward thing here is obviously trying to get to medium before we run out of money, but that could be tricky. I might need to do something like Impact do, where they have more than like one show per month just to get fans in the door and get the size up, so we might see like an Impact Plus exclusive event, but we'll see. The tricky thing is where we are. I don't exactly want to have an Impact Plus show before Bound for Glory. It's something you'd kind of want to look at after that, so we'll take it week by week and see what happens. But I'll go ahead, I'll play forward the next 10 days, and hopefully I'll see you for that next episode, which will be our final pay-per-view on the road to Bound for Glory, which is of course against all odds. So thanks for watching, take it easy, see you soon, bye bye.